On now from looking at various types of listings of the audiobooks table to actually inserting new data into the audiobooks table. And the first thing we have to insert data into is a parent table called BType. And the command we use to do that is insert into BType type values and then the value to be inserted. And we go to the code page and create a form that has a text box which we name txt new type in good Hungarian notation, and a button which we name Items.Add new type, and finally a list box that shows all the existing type codes called LST code types. And you'll remember this is almost identical to what the form I used when the first 3 lessons I put out on YouTube called text boxes and list boxes. But when we first start up this form, we want the list box to be filled with the existing types. So if it's something that happens at start of day, we want to go to the form load method. And within the form load method, we have a call to a function, fill types list box. And this function does a select on the types table, reads in all the types in order, alphabetical order, and then adds them to the list box. So this is the SQL for the add, or for selecting all the records from the type table. And we do a clear of the list box with list code types.items.Clear. And the reason for this is we're going to call this routine more than once. In fact, that's why it is a routine. Then we loop through the SQL data reader and add each type in turn to the list box from the book types type field. And then we close the SQL data adapter because, as I said, we're going to be calling this routine over and over, and we'll get an error if this isn't closed when we try and reuse it. So we look at the click event for the button add new type. And here we have the insert code we mentioned previously, insert into BType type, and then the value is concatenated with str new type, which is derived from our text box, the text property of our text box. It's set to a local variable, but it comes from the text box. And then we do an execute non-query method on the SQL command object. It's the first time we've seen this method. It basically says execute the query, but don't worry about any return data. We don't have any return data. And then finally we make a call to our fill type list box to refresh the list box, hopefully with the new type we just added included. So let's see if this code works. We wanted to add a type called sci-fi adventure. And if we look in the sci-fi area, we notice there's a sci-fi comedy, but there is no sci-fi adventure. So for one thing, we do need to add the type. It doesn't already exist. So we type it into the list box. And then we press the add type button to both do the insert and refresh the type list box. And if we go down to the sci-fi area, sure enough, the sci-fi adventure has been added. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and remember to focus and learn a lot.